This is a demo of a doll controlling our fairies online world. And just by moving the doll, the girl is able to control their avatar on screen. We have even more advanced versions of this technology where by holding up a doll, we can recognize the clothes that the doll is wearing so kids can dress the outfit. If you were to hold up an action figure, we could recognize what weapon it's holding, for example. So what's interesting about this technology is that it's working all in Flash, and there's actually there's nothing to download, there's nothing to install, you just go to your web browser. And that's really been the thing that it's also working with a basic webcam that's very low resolution. So that's really the thing that's held back a lot of this technology is the installs and having expensive hardware, and we've been able to remove a lot of those barriers. Another thing that you're hearing a lot about is augmented reality, and I'm sort of, it's something that we're playing with. I'm not sure that in a lot of ways it's ready for prime time with children yet. You see a lot of very cool demos of augmented reality, and here's my cool demo of augmented reality. But one of the things that we find when you use augmented reality with a computer is that the computer's really got to be set up in the right way. You got to have enough space on your desk to put down to interact in. You've got to have the camera in the right place. You got to have enough light. And one of the things that we're becoming much more interested in is as augmented reality moves off of the PC and into devices like the iPhone, suddenly a device like this becomes my, kind of secret magical monocle, and I can look onto the world. And if you have one and I have one, the interactive possibilities that creates for both of us and the augmentations that we can deliver become even more interesting. But you can see how from this demo, just by putting down basic cards, the kid is able to interact with the camera and the computer in a very natural way that doesn't require keyboards or hardware or anything other than a camera. And so I'm really excited by this technology because we're just removing all of that hardware out of the way and we're making it about how kids normally physically play. The last technology I'm going to show you is Toy Bridge, and most of the things that I've shown you today are things that do not require much hardware, but there are going to be times where we want to connect toys to the computer, and one of the things and a lot of people have done computer-connected toys, but the problem is that often they just don't work very well, and a lot of it has to do with the architecture of toy technology. And I did a toy a couple years ago called Clickables that Warren beat me up about, and so I thought, one of the big challenges there was how we connected the toy to the computer, and so we went out and tried to find a way to fix that. And we've created a technology called Toy Bridge. And what Toy Bridge allows you to do is connect in a flash. So what we do is we create a portal between hardware connected via USB, although it could be over Wi-Fi, and a flash application living in the cloud. And this has never really been done before. You saw the install there. It was just really quick. And now that small application is living on your computer, you can use it for any application. So in the world of toys today, you have different standards. Often, if you buy one toy, it has one install. If you buy a different toy, it has a different install. We're able to standardize that and make all toys work with all of our online applications through one technology. Here you're seeing different interfaces through the computer. This one is, the previous one was using a Wii controller to control a Flash game, which is not natively in Flash. Here you're seeing using a web application that's on a server to control a robot on a kid's desk, and a really easy way for them to program that robot just by posing it and taking a shot, which they'll, once they're done posing, there you go, take a picture and then take another picture. And you're able to string these pictures together and get the robot to dance. What we're interested in, though, is that in the future, because this is all happening over the internet, we could have a live actor potentially on a server somewhere in the cloud who could come take over your robot and actually do a live performance, just like we might do in a theme park with our animatronics. Or we could have two kids control one another's physical avatar robots on the other end of the internet. So, these are things, again, very rough technology demos. These are things I literally just plucked from the lab, but it shows you some of the technology that's going to be available for kids really soon and things that we're playing around with. What we do with this technology is we create demos like this, we put them in front of kids, we try to understand how they're going to use them, then we develop them into baked concepts like you saw from Sesame, and then ultimately they go into final products. So, thank you.
Great. Thank you. So in the interest of time, do we have time for a question or a quick one?
If the next panel could get wired up and start moving that virtual world, so come out of your virtual world in avatar form and come to the front.
Okay. Let's take a question from the audience if anyone has one while they're getting ready. Anybody?
Or comment.
Yep.
What about multi-touch? You mentioned it at the beginning, but none of this is really about, or it doesn't involve touch much. So how do kids and multi-touch go together?
Do kids and multi-touch go together?
Our concept does have a touchable screen. It's a single touch in this particular implementation, but it actually multi-touch.
But multi-touch and accelerometers are like the perfect storm for kids. And the fact that you can pull and pinch inside it is huge. And I think that we're seeing a dawn of a whole new generation of interactive experiences. I think you guys would agree. I mean, the possibilities of the toy being able to sense your motion. For kids, kids move. Kids touch.
And Project Natal coming out and the video games with just using your entire body as being the way that you're interacting with the video games, I think.
It matches developmentally.
Yeah, the other thing I'm really interested in is there's a company at the show called TouchCo that has a new multi-touch technology. I think it's something like IVFS or something like that. But basically what it does is it's not just multi-touch, but it's pressure as well. And once you're able to add that dimension, if you use some of your iPhone apps, sometimes you'll find you mean to drag something, but it selects it instead. You know, this technology will make it a lot easier for you to distinguish between those things. So you'll have both a touch and a click. And multiple versions of that, so you could use your finger as a pin, for example, and if you press harder, you get a bigger dot, and if you press lighter, you get a finer dot. So, I'm really interested in sort of where the multi-touch technology is going, but a lot of these other sensing technologies, the IR cameras that you're seeing in Project Natal and all these other types of things, I think just make it even more exciting. So.
And I would just chime in terms of age appropriateness and why there could be depth to it. There could be some multi-touches that just don't go very far, but other ones where it has a very young child, for example, who can become more literate because they can't read yet, but with different kinds of touching, and in that case it could be a stylus as well, but there could be different things you could do with multi-touch that has them engage with content in a different way so that they're engaged at a superficial level physically, but also with the content deeply.
And all these tablets that we think are coming, I think are going to make it a lot easier for kids because the iPhone screen is actually really small, and one of the things that working with Jim, actually we've talked a lot about multi-touch. One of the things we found is that when you go to multi-touch, you actually lose a lot of selection points for kids on the screen. And so the larger the screen, the easier it is for kids to hit the target. And so I think that if you like what you see on the iPhone, when the tablets come out, you really ain't seen nothing yet.
I think in 2040, the child will have a small bony appendage starting to grow out of their pointer finger, possibly, if Darwin is correct. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.